Organized harassment. It sounds like something from a spy movie, doesn't it? You picture people in shadowy rooms plotting over maps. Most folks hear about it and immediately think, no way, that's too dramatic for real life. We like our explanations to be simple. A difficult boss, sure, we get that. A problematic ex-partner, okay, that happens. But a whole group of people coordinating to make someone's life miserable, it just feels a bit much. It seems too complicated for our everyday understanding of how the world works. And let's be completely honest here, the idea itself is deeply uncomfortable, it's unsettling. If this kind of coordinated malice is actually real, then the world suddenly feels a little bit scarier, a little less predictable than we'd prefer to believe. So, what's the natural human reaction when faced with something so disturbing? Often we just switch off. It's far easier to dismiss the person telling the story, to think they're probably just imagining things, or even worse, they must have done something to bring this on themselves. Denial is a powerful coping mechanism. Plus, the people behind these campaigns, they're usually not foolish. They are quite clever about how they operate. They orchestrate things to look like a string of unfortunate, unrelated events. Your car gets a flat tire one day. A nasty, anonymous comment appears on your social media the next. Your internet connection mysteriously drops out right before an important online presentation. Each incident, viewed in isolation, seems plausible, just bad luck. It is the relentless, targeted pattern that gives the game away. But who really has the time or inclination to connect all those seemingly random dots? Then there's the most insidious part: gaslighting. The harassers, or the environment of suspicion they create, are designed to make the victim doubt their own sanity. People around them might say, "Are you really sure that happened just like you said?" Or perhaps you're being a bit too sensitive about all this, don't you think? When someone is constantly pushed to question their own perceptions and their own mind, it becomes incredibly difficult for them to convince anyone else of their reality. So, the public disbelief continues, and the harassers often get a free pass. It's a truly messed up, vicious cycle. So how does this actually look in real life? Let's imagine a scenario. Sarah decides to speak up about an issue she sees in her local community, maybe something about unfair zoning at a council meeting. It's nothing earth-shattering, just a citizen voicing a legitimate concern. But suddenly, her previously quiet and predictable life starts to get strange. At first it's minor annoyances. Her favorite garden gnome keeps getting moved to odd places on her lawn. Then, her online neighborhood forum is suddenly flooded with bizarre and untrue stories about her character. Coincidence? Perhaps the first time, you might think so, but then things begin to escalate. Her work email account gets hacked, and embarrassing, completely fabricated messages are sent out to all her colleagues and her boss. She starts receiving silent phone calls at all hours of the night, disrupting her sleep and peace of mind. People she has known for years, friends and neighbors, start to avoid her, giving her suspicious looks or cold shoulders. Each individual incident, if you heard about it separately, you might just shrug off as unfortunate. But when all these things happen together, in a sequence, for Sarah it feels like her entire world is being systematically and deliberately dismantled, piece by unseen, hostile hands. Or consider the story of David, who owns a small, innovative tech startup. He develops a fantastic new application that starts getting attention. A much larger, more aggressive tech corporation makes an offer to buy him out, but the offer is ridiculously low. David says no, he believes in his product and wants to see it grow independently. Almost immediately after, his app's ratings on all the app stores plummet. Hundreds of one-star reviews appear within a few days, many written in very similar broken English, clearly not from genuine users. Then a series of bogus complaints are filed against his small company with various regulatory bodies, creating legal headaches. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts, designed to wear him down. These situations are not just unfortunate streaks of bad luck or the actions of a few disgruntled individuals acting on their own whims. This is coordinated, it's undeniably strategic. The timing of the events is too precise, the methods used are too similar across different platforms, and the pressure applied is too consistent and relentless to be random. It's like witnessing an orchestra of malice, with a hidden conductor leading all the players from somewhere in the shadows. The perpetrators want you to believe it's all just random misfortune, that you're just unlucky, or worse, that you're becoming paranoid. But the victims, they know. They feel the chilling precision and intent behind it all. Now you might be sitting there thinking, okay Trevor, these are some scary stories and they sound awful, but where is the actual proof? How do we know this isn't just extreme misfortune or misunderstanding? Well, sometimes the proof is hiding in plain sight, especially in our increasingly digital world. Think about those online smear campaigns we just discussed. Skilled investigators, both amateur and professional, can sometimes trace the origins of these coordinated digital attacks. They find clear patterns, a large number of fake social media accounts all created on the same day, posting negative content from the same small group of IP addresses, or using identical specific phrases and hashtags. That's not random internet trolls, that's a planned operation. And sometimes, if we're lucky, brave individuals decide to speak out. Whistleblowers. These are people who were once part of these harassment groups, or perhaps they worked for organizations or companies that routinely engage in these kinds of unethical tactics against competitors or critics. They come forward, often at great personal risk, and explain exactly how it all works from the inside. They might describe the planning meetings, the target lists, the specific instructions they were given on how to systematically make someone's life a living hell without leaving obvious, easily traceable fingerprints. Their testimonies are chilling, but they provide crucial, undeniable evidence that organized harassment isn't just a product of paranoia. The impact of this kind of harassment? Oh, it's absolutely devastating. We are not just talking about someone feeling a bit down or annoyed for a few days. This is profoundly life-altering stuff. People lose their jobs and their careers because of carefully manufactured scandals or relentless campaigns to discredit them with their employers. Their businesses, like David's, can go under due to fake reviews and bogus complaints. Their personal relationships often crumble under the immense stress, suspicion, and isolation. Victims frequently develop severe anxiety, crippling depression, and even post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Some people are driven from their homes, forced to leave their communities, effectively going into hiding to escape the torment. It's a quiet, insidious kind of destruction, but it is destruction nonetheless. And why do they do it? What is the ultimate endgame for these organized harassers? Usually it all boils down to power and control. The goal is often to silence a critic, to eliminate a business competitor, to punish a whistleblower for daring to speak truth to power, or to completely isolate and discredit someone who knows too much or poses some kind of threat. Organized harassment is a weapon, a sophisticated tool of aggression, and its primary objective is to break someone down mentally, emotionally, financially, and socially until they give up, go away, or are so thoroughly discredited that no one will ever listen to them again. It's a way to win, but it's winning dirty. So here's the crucial takeaway. When we as a society dismiss these stories out of hand, when we instinctively say, nah, that can't be real, we are actually unintentionally helping the harassers. We are essentially doing part of their job for them. Our disbelief acts as a shield that protects these coordinated attacks and allows them to continue. It lets them operate effectively in the shadows, while their victims suffer in silence, often doubted and dismissed by the very people, friends, family, authorities they turn to for help and support. Our skepticism, however well-intentioned, can become an unintentional weapon in the hands of those who mean to cause harm. What can we, as individuals, do about this? It really starts with something very simple: listening. Truly, actively listening. If someone you know, someone you generally trust, starts talking to you about a series of strange, unsettling, and seemingly connected negative events in their life, please don't immediately jump to the conclusion that you're just overthinking it, or you're being paranoid. Instead, ask questions. Try to help them look for patterns. Sometimes, just having one person who believes them, one person who validates their terrifying experience, can be an absolute lifeline in a sea of gaslighting, confusion, and self-doubt. It's about offering that initial, crucial ounce of trust. Believing victims is the essential first step. Supporting them actively is the vital second step. This support can take many forms. It might mean helping them to meticulously document everything that is happening. Keeping records of dates, times, specific incidents, taking screenshots of online abuse, saving threatening messages. Evidence is absolutely crucial if they are to seek any form of redress. It might also mean encouraging them to seek legal advice from lawyers who understand these complex abuse patterns, or guiding them towards organizations that specialize in helping targets of organized harassment. We need to shift the societal burden of proof from "prove it's happening to you" to "let's investigate thoroughly because this sounds incredibly serious." Protecting the vulnerable should always be our default position. Ultimately, we need to work together to drag the phenomenon of organized harassment out of the murky shadows and into the bright light of public awareness. We need more open and honest conversations about it, just like this one. We need to educate ourselves and then educate others about how these tactics work and the devastating impact they have. We need to demand that our laws and our law enforcement agencies get much better at recognizing, investigating, and effectively tackling these sophisticated and insidious forms of abuse. It is real, it is incredibly harmful. And it is up to all of us collectively to stand up and say enough is enough. Let's believe, let's support, and let's act.